Let us take a look at the horoscope of Elon Musk. He is the world's richest person. He is not a Seth kind of businessman. He is said to be a genius in engineering and in technology. So here are some more facts that I pulled from the wiki pages on Elon Musk. So he was born in South Africa, and then he came to Canada in 1989, and he became a US citizen in 2002. And some of his companies that he has founded are, and these companies are very well known, like the Tesla, SpaceX, and recently acquired Twitter also, which is now known as X also. And then many of you might not be knowing that he's also the founder of the PayPal, the online payment gateway. Now his birth date and the place is known in South Africa, but birth time is not known. So whenever we are doing a celebrity chart, then the first thing is to be very careful about from where to get the reliable birth data. So I did some surfing on the web, trying to figure out what could be his accurate time of birth. And so when you make a search on the web, then you come across various kind of birth time. You will find his horoscope that has a Gemini ascendant, Virgo ascendant, Aquarius ascendant, Pisces ascendant. So there is a great deal of confusion about his accurate birth time. And then some of the sites where the celebrity horoscopes kind of data bank is maintained, I went to those sites also. So this is one from the Astro site, and it says dirty data. So you can't possibly rely on this. And this has a Pisces ascendant. So obviously the time of birth is something 000. That's why it's just a dirty data. So finally I figured out that my most favorite and the reliable site is the astro.com. This is the site that you should bookmark, astro.com. And you see they are the creators of the Swiss ephemera and a lot of the Jyotish programs in the market. They all make use of the astro.com library. So this is a very credible and reliable organization, and they also have the Astro data bank. In the Astro data bank, they have mentioned about his time of birth as 7:30, and then there is a rating also. This is a very reliable rating. Like I mentioned, this is a credible organization. They just don't put out these data just for putting out something. They do their own research, and then they only publish it. And not only they publish it, they label it as whether the rating is A, B, or C. So this is the go-to site whenever you are looking for some celebrity horoscope data. Then this is the site that I will highly recommend. Astro Data Bank from the astro.com. So now that we have the time of birth as 7:30 and the date and place is already known, so let's create Elon Musk birth chart. So this is his birth chart. And this is the data. Okay. Now, when you read about some celebrity, like I have been following Elon Musk for a time, and I know that he's an intellectual kind of a person, highly intelligent in engineering, technology, and at the same time, he's a very successful business person. So some of the zodiac signs that comes to my mind are like Leo is there, or Virgo is there, Gemini is there, Mercury ruled signs are there, and then the Gemini, Virgo, and Aquarius, that also indicates uh, intellectual kind of person, scientist, and those kind of a thing. But if you have a good handle on the some deeper aspects of these zodiac signs, then you know that the business plus the intelligence. For that, it is the Gemini. So this is the sign that is actually responsible for creating highly intelligent person. Those are equally successful in business as well. You know, Mercury is a significator of natural karak for the business, and Mercury at the same time indicates a very highly developed analytical skill. So I was not surprised that the ascendant came out to be the the Gemini ascendant. Now the next thing was to assess the character sketch. Now in many of my videos I have repeatedly shown that the usual belief that the ascendant sublord, the cuspal sublord of the ascendant, indicate the character sketch of a person is not at all reliable. I don't make use of it, and I've shown in several videos that it is very misleading. Don't believe on the ascendant cuspal sublord for finding the character sketch of a person. You should just rely on the the ascendant in the Rashi chart and the moon. That's all is needed. If you combine both of these things, you will get a very fairly accurate character sketch most of the time. I will not say 100%, but at least it is not shaky and unreliable like the usual belief that the cuspal sublord of the ascendant indicates the character sketch. So in the Elon Musk horoscope, this was proven again. My assertion that to do a character sketch, look at the Rashi chart, look at the ascendant, look at the Janma Rashi, where the moon is, and together they will give you a fairly good idea about the person's character sketch. Mercury, Gemini, is a highly intelligent sign, and the Leo, where the Rashi is also gives the kind of a ego and superiority complex, which of course Elon Musk has these qualities. So let's see what Professor Krishnamurti has said about the Gemini ascendant and the people who have a strong influence of Mercury. Now, another thing I wanted to draw your attention was that you see, whenever you are doing a horoscope, it's a good idea to make use of this particular option, signification plus. In one of the videos I had explained this. Let's see what it does. So when you click on this, so it gives you in one glance about if there are planets on the cusp or the ascendant itself is on the cusp and other things. So if you look here, then you find that in the conjunction column, this column, you see it's saying Mercury. So Mercury is conjoined with the ascendant. Ascendant is 20 degree, right? And if you look at the Mercury, it is You see, Mercury is right on the cusp. So this gives a tremendous powerful influence on the ascendant by Mercury. And the second is that there is a conjunction for Neptune and Jupiter, right? So if you look at Jupiter is in Scorpio 4 degrees and Neptune is in Scorpio 7 degrees. So don't ignore these things. This is a very handy additional signification table that you should take a look at. So now when we see that the Mercury is right at the cusp of the ascendant, giving it a tremendous boost. So we know that this horoscope has a tremendous influence from Mercury. That we have to keep in mind. Keeping that in mind, now let's see what Professor Krishnamurti has said about the strongly people with very strong Gemini and in turn Mercury influence. So we're going to take a look at what Professor Krishnamurti says. So, you know, Mercury is a air sign, airy sign, and it is also a sign of duality. So, the being an airy sign, the person born in this sign live mostly in the mind, which means they are highly intelligent. Okay, these persons have intellectual qualities and show all signs of mental dexterity and supreme intelligence. And then the Gemini is a dual sign. So sometimes these person create some kind of a confusion. Sometimes they will look at very loving. Sometimes they will sound as being very selfish. So that's also one of the qualities of this sign. And another quality is that because of the duality, the Gemini is a sign of duality. So these person can handle many tasks at the same time. They can do multitasking. They have that capabilities. So they will have more than one business, and in many times they will start a business and then they will abandon it or just leave it halfway. But at any given point of a time, the strong Gemini influence people will get into multitasking. Then they are always full of new ideas and new interests, and they highly read also, and the whole range of their thinking process is very wide. So you can write very easily 2-3 pages just on the based on the sign Gemini and the Mercury. If you fuse these things together, then you will have a fairly good accurate picture of what the professor has mentioned about the Gemini sign. And then of course the moon in Leo will also bring in all these Leo arrogance, superiority complex, so that you have to blend. So there is always some multiple influence on a person's personality. Now, since he is the richest person in the world, so obviously our focus should be on the yogas or the signification that has made him the richest person in the world. So let me explain you. Krishnamurti Paddhati that way is very reliable in figuring it out if a person has a decent status, in life or not. So for that, you have to look at the houses 2, 6, 10 and 11. Now let me explain you the how you can look at the strength of these houses, the 2, 6, 10 and 11. These are the houses that that will reveal a person's status and in the life. Now if you look at this table and this, and if you are used to doing KP, then you will be able to get a fairly quickly and handle that this person has a decent business status. But I'll show you another easier method for some of the beginners. So when you first, I made a copy of the bhav chalit, not the Rashi. Okay, if you look at the difference in the bhav chalit, you see some of the cusp has become intercepted cusp. You don't find the Aries. Aries appears over here, but you don't find Aries over here. So we make a copy of this, and then let me remove all the names of the planet. Now let's focus on the 2, 6, 10, 11. So the question that you should be asking is that is the second, which is the Dhanesh, right? Dhankarak. Anything to do or connected with 2, 6, 10 and 11, right? Any of these houses. Okay. So this is the house of Dhan, the wealth. So you will see that moon, here you see moon is in the star of Venus, and Venus is here the Labesh. So you write that Ganesh is in star of Labesh. This alone is a yoga in Krishnamurti Paddhati. Dhanesh in the star of Labesh. Okay. Then you look at the 6th house, right? 6th house is important. And you find that who is the 6th house? 6th house lord is Mars, right? So you write 6th lord Mars. And where is Mars? If you look at Mars, Mars is in its own star. So it is indicating the 6th house and the 10th house both. So 6th lord Mars is connected to 6th and also in star of Karmesh, right? The 10th lord is the Karmesh. So 6th lord has also connection with the 10th. Similarly, now if you look at the 10th, 10th is also Mars, right? 10th is Mars, right? So you find that the Karmesh is already connected with the Karmesh because Mars is in its own star, right? So Mars as the 10th cusp lord is already connected with the 6th and the 10th. Similarly, you look at the 11th, right? So 11th is here Venus, right? And we see Venus is in the star of Mars. So what we say? We say Labhesh. Labhesh is the house of income. Is connected with Kadesh or Parmesh. So you see how the 2, 6, 10, 11 houses are very strongly connected with each other. So this is one of the easiest way, or I would say easier way, to see or judge the strength of the 2, 6, 10, 11 in a horoscope. This is how then you deduct that this person has a fairly decent status in the society or a country. Now, one of the things that I have been pondering for a long time is that, see, the Elon Musk horoscope is just like, they say Kuwait's horoscope. Okay. So I've been trying to figure it out that what kind of a connection could be found in Krishnamurti Paddhati. By looking at that, you can be sure that this person is exceptionally rich. Right now, you can say that this person is exceptionally successful and exceptionally rich, but probably you won't be able to say that this person is exceptionally rich. So this is one thing that I have been trying to figure it out in Krishnamurti Paddhati. But compared to the Parashari Jyotish, you see how easy it is in the Krishnamurti framework to figure out the status of the person. Now, if let's move on to the the Dasha. So, if we look at the Dasha, so we must focus, I think, on the Mars Dasha. Right. So if we will focus, we'll start from the Mars Dasha. So when you click on the Mars, so Mars is when he was around 34 years of age, and even Moon, we can look at Moon also. You see, Moon is also very powerful, as you can see. You know, Moon is Dhanesh, and it is in the star of the Lavesh. So even from the Moon Dasha itself, Elon Musk started delving into business at a very young age, and he had been successful in businesses that he created, expanded, made it very popular, and then sold it for millions of dollars. So you see, Moon is powerful. Mars we have already seen. Mars is uh, the 10th lord, and Mars we have seen is equally very powerful. And Mars also gives the authority, leadership. So that thing is there with the Mars. And now he is running the Rahu Dasha, right? And if we look at the current period, then it is Rahu, Venus, and Jupiter. Rahu is very good because it is in the 7th house, which is the house of business, first thing. And then the Rahu is, you see, Rahu indicates whatever he is doing, like the SpaceX, and then he has that Starlink, the the global internet satellite business that he has. Then he is also delving into AI, all advanced technology kind of stuff. So that is what Rahu indicates, and Rahu in 7th indicates business. So Rahu, which is a Chaya Grah, indicating very advanced kind of enterprises based on science and technology. So, and then Rahu, of course, is connected with the 2nd house. That's very good. And then Rahu also is connected with the 8th and 12th. This is not a bad combination because it indicates research. 8th house is for research. That is what his company does. And that is what Elon also likes. Currently, he is running Rahu and Venus period. Venus is good, as you can see. And Venus is also indicating the 10th house through Mars. That might be the reason that he got connected with Donald Trump, where he was given this additional responsibility of cutting down the government employees, for which of course he became quite unpopular also. And then now there is some kind of a rift between him and the Trump. But the focus on the 10th house related thing is very prominent over here. So Rahu, Venus, that is what is indicated. Now, one of the questions that usually arises, will he go into politics full time? Will he become like a senator or something? So I don't think that kind of yoga is there, because for that you need sun. Sun is the king, right? So people who become an integral part of the government by having more executive power in the government, the sun has to be there. So we don't see any obvious connection of sun with the current with the 10th house especially, right? So I don't think there is any he might be having that peripheral connection with the government, but I don't think he's going to get deeply involved in and living besides his business. He will not do that. Rahu will keep him busy with the with his new inventions and discoveries and new businesses in the area of science and technology. After Rahu Venus, then we find that he will have the Sun Dasha. So that means he will still keep in touch with the, or he will have one foot in the affairs of the government. But I don't think he's going to get actively involved. And the Sun is also very good in his horoscope. And after that, Moon period is also, if you look at Moon period, that's also very strong. And Moon also, see Sun and Moon, why I am saying that he might be still involved a little bit in the politics is, though there is no 10th house obvious connection, but Sun and Moon are the natural significator for the indicating the government. So for this reason, when somebody runs the Dasha of Sun and Moon, then because of this signification of Sun and Moon indicating the government, one gets involved somehow with the government. So that's what is going to happen during the Rahu Sun Dasha and then the Rahu Moon Dasha. Rahu Mar Dasha is also very good. Overall, this period is very good for him. Nobody is stopping him. Ups and downs happen in life. But nobody, I don't think anybody is going to stop him. And he is going to just create new successful milestones for him in the business. There is another very interesting yoga that has been mentioned by Professor Krishnamurti, and that applies to Gemini horoscope. That how the Gemini people might bring about their downfall by themselves. Very interesting observation that can only come from the genius of Professor Krishnamurti. But before that, let me show you or share one of the aspects of Elon Musk life, and let's go to the wiki page. Now in the wiki page, if you look at this, Musk has fathered at least 14 children, and the Wall Street Journal reported that sources close to Musk suggest that the true number of Musk children is much higher than publicly known. So what does it indicate? Obviously it indicates all kind of a relationship in a person's life. So that is what is mentioned by Professor Krishnamurti for Gemini. See this yoga, and I'm going to explain you this particular reason why Professor has mentioned about it. But this can happen in any horoscope with any ascendant. But in Gemini ascendant, it is more probable. The probability is more. So for which, what Professor says is that note down the rulers of the 6, 8 and 12. These cusps. Why 6, 8 and 12? Because together they indicate something, the bad side in a person's life. When there could be a loss of wealth or a loss of reputation or some kind of a negative thing like difficulties, those kind of a thing. Now for Gemini ascendant, if you look at the Gemini ascendant, then the 6th house is Mars, right? 8th is Saturn, and 12th is Venus. In the cusp chart, this could change, but here if you find, is same, the Mars, Saturn and Venus. So since the intersection happens in the cusp chart, for this reason I was saying that this combination of Mars, Saturn and Venus, this can happen in other charts as well, but in the Gemini ascendant chart, the probability is higher. Now the Mars and Venus, you see Mars plus Venus indicate the calm or the the relationship that people have, multiple relationship. Uh, so that is indicated by, not always, but Mars and Venus gives that kind of a drive, because Mars is the male energy, Venus is the female energy, and the fusion of the both gives rise to the calm or the passion. And then Saturn is, so this I will write, Mars plus this is passion. If this alone is not sufficient, Saturn is a planet of secrecy. So when you join these two things, passion plus secrecy, that is what Saturn does. Saturn tries to hide things. Saturn is a karak for hiding things. So Mars plus Venus plus Saturn, 6, 8, 12. Okay. So this creates a combination where a person is strongly likely to have these kind of a relationship. But another aspect that professor has mentioned is that it says that there has to be a relationship. A house that also indicates a relationship. 6, 8 and 12 is not sufficient. So when he says that the and attachment, so basically he is saying that if there is an attachment with the house that indicates the relationship. So what is the house that indicates the relationship? It is the fifth house, right? The fifth house is the house of love affair, okay, or the affinity between two persons. So in Elon Musk chart, you see the Mars has become the lord of the sixth house as well as the fifth house. So now we have this yoga, it's complete. And that's why I think the Wall Street Journal, that comment about we don't know how many children he has, okay, that might be stemming from this particular yoga. So this is just a yoga in Krishnamurti Paddhati. So you sometimes you have to go beyond these things. This alone is not sufficient. If you get just stuck with these things, then some finer details in a person's horoscope you will be missing. So this you can make a note that this combination, and like I mentioned, that this combination can happen in any horoscope because of the intercepted cusp. This can appear, this combination, but everything has to be there. Then only you can say with confidence. And of course, you should say in person also, not in front of others. So I think we covered some very interesting aspects of Elon Musk's life, his character sketch, and then the business side, and the third is the this particular yoga. So that's all in this video, and I will see you soon with another video. Thanks for watching.